Hey everyone, how you doing? Quick sound check, just make sure everything's okay. That sounds good. Excellent. We are in business. So, it's Wednesday night. It's the 11th of May, which means the game is coming out tomorrow. Now, I wasn't going to do a stream tonight, but I was sat here thinking, everyone's probably hyped about this. I'm pretty hyped. I've got access to it, and I'm pretty hyped. So I thought, let's just jump on. Let's just do another quick run across the island. I'll see if I can find another different way of doing it. And I think I've done that. We do have to cover some of the same ground down at the south end because there's only sort of one road in and out to the south end. And apart from that, though, we've found another route through the middle, which I'm going to run tonight, and I'm going to use one of the buses that actually will come with the game. It's been getting a little bit confusing as to what you do and don't get in the game, but I think I've kind of nailed it down. So let's do that. Hey Jessica, how you doing? Thanks for coming back in again. I appreciate it. Right, so let's have a look what we are doing then. So this is tonight's route. We're starting off down in the south again, but we're not going all the way down to Caffetti where we've started before. This is where the dirt track section is. You'll remember from yesterday. We're starting off at Morro Jable, going through Yandia Player. Let me take the return trip off. We don't want two lines in there. From Yandia Player, we are bypassing Escanizo because it's very, very tight. You can see this windy road down this end. I don't want to take the bigger bus down there if I don't have to. We're coming up, we're bypassing Costa Calma, then we're coming up a little bit. We're avoiding the mountain section, we're coming back across the middle. Let me zoom out so you can get a perspective. So you remember last night we kind of came across this way and we followed the coast as best we could. We're slightly above tonight. We are, I don't know what's going on here. That's a bit weird. Did I put a wrong stop? It doesn't matter. Anyway, we'll do that. We're stopping here at this one, which is I picked the wrong one to pronounce there, didn't I? Barranco de Juan Gopar. So we're stopping there. The idea was we were then coming up again inland. I'm not really sure what this bit is. Not to worry. So we're coming up here to La Canada. We've been there before, and then in the very first live stream we came up to I can't pronounce these. I'm going to have to practice these. Pahara, and then we got into the mountain section. So once again we're bypassing the mountain section, going through Antigua, up to Casa del Angel, over to Puerto del Rosario. We came through here last night. Here's the airport. So we came along here and down. And then we're joining up with part of the coast road from last night, but instead of going all the way up there to Corralejo, we're actually turning back inland again. And we're taking this route up to Corralejo. So that's the route. I'm trying to cover as many different roads as I can with this, just so you get a really good view before tomorrow, before it releases. For those of you who are on console and planning to pick this up. So, let me select back on that. Pick the route. So this God, I can't even say MAN Lions Coach 2nd Gen is one of the ones that you get as part of the release. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the livery of this. Let's just go with the default livery, shall we? which is at the top. This is the orange one. There's two defaults actually. They both look the same. I think with this one you can customize it. So can you see? You can change the roof, the wheel caps, the bodywork. You can change different pieces of it and make it look as nice or as ugly as you fancy. We'll just go with the default one for now. We will go in the sun, 10 o'clock, June the 1st. That's fine by me. We've got it set to the sun. That's good. And we're going to go over the arcade controls again, just to keep it nice and easy while I'm trying to read the chat, because it gets a bit difficult, as you've already seen. So let's jump in. There we go. So everybody will jump on board. It's another nice day. So we've been using the minibus pretty much so far. And as this was one of the standard ones, I thought we'll use this one tonight. Let's take a good look. That's probably everybody on board, so let's jump in. Right, so we're all ready to go. Put the indicator on. Driving one of these bigger buses is a completely different experience to the minibus, which is why I was suggesting that when you start career mode you might want to use one of the minibuses to begin with, just until you get used to the roads. Hopefully with this route, I've picked a route that is all sort of main roads, none of the windy stuff, but let's see. So this is the south of the island again. I'll make sure we're more careful tonight. I think we had one accident last night in last night's live stream. We'll try and avoid that if we can, but it's not easy. Jessica says the bugged black sidewalks look scary. Yeah, they'll be fixed. So it looks like the day one patch is really going to be a day one patch. I was hoping that it would drop today actually, so I could show you the differences. But no, nothing has come today, unfortunately, which is a shame. So it's all going to release at the same time with the main release tomorrow. Let's do our first stop. Let's have a look outside. Everybody getting on for the trip north. So if you're picking this up tomorrow, according to the TML Studios, they're the developers, according to the developers Discord, it should go live in the stores around, they think, around 11 AM UK time. So depending where you are in the world, just translate that to your time zone. But yeah, 11 o'clock. That was the best guess. I don't think they really knew. But certainly it's not available at midnight. So just keep that in mind if you're looking in the store. Hello Farah, how are you? No, you've not missed anything. That was our first stop. So just for the benefit of Farah and anybody else that's joined, let me flick the map up quickly. We're going from south to north again, but a different route today. We started off in Morro Jabal, there, just at the bottom. Trying to come inland a little bit more than we did yesterday, across the middle, through Antigua, over across to Puerto del Rosario, which is near the airport. That's the airport. We'll take the coast road for a little bit on the east side, and then we'll come inland again, and we'll go up to Corralejo again. So a little bit of this is the third route across the island that we've done. just for a little bit of variety and just to show you a few different roads. So no, you've not missed anything at all. Good timing tonight. Hope that bell is working for you. And this is one of the standard buses that comes with the game as well, which is why I'm using that. What is that guy doing? Look at that. I was in lane then. As I've said before, those crashes don't cost me any money, so I'm not too bothered about that. So we've got 20 kilometres to the first stop. I think this is going to be a popular game actually on the console, just based on everybody's feedback and comments during the day. And the amount of viewers really that have just been looking at the videos, I think it's going to be really good. And this is where I jumped last time. Don't know if you remember that in the first live stream. I went up that hill too fast and took off. Yeah, I think it's going to be a popular one. There's no news on the price yet. It seems like we're going to have to wait until the day to find that out. It could cost us in career mode. It could. Yeah, it could. Yeah, it'll send us to the repair shop, won't it? This is free play again, of course. Just so I don't have to mess around with the business side of things. I keep thinking maybe there's going to be some improvements to that or some enhancements in the day one patch. So I haven't continued with that, but that will be the plan. We'll cover the career mode on future streams, I think. Yeah, 40k. Yeah, just like Bus Sim. 40k per bump. I'm using arcade controls again, so you'll have seen in the short video that I did on the realistic control scheme, there is actually a cruise button that you can use if you're using that control scheme, which is useful because I keep speeding because I can't see the HUD very well down the bottom right hand corner. So that is one of the benefits of using that control scheme, certainly, especially on these long roads. But the speed limits are changing so often, which is the other thing. We just came out of a 90, now we're in a 60. We've got a 90 again now. Costa Calma's coming up on our right hand side. We're not stopping there tonight. The sandstorm effect is pretty good. Yeah, it is. Because you would think that would use up a bit of the performance budget, wouldn't you, to do the sandstorm or the sand cloud or whatever we'll call it. So it's quite nice to have that in. So we're coming off here, so we can pass back under the motorway. Good news is there's nothing coming from the left. Well, that's tight, isn't it? That's the difference between this one and the minibus. If you're not on the actual windscreen, which is quite a nice effect as well. I wish these people wouldn't stand in the bus stop. Makes me nervous. At least one thing, we've got plenty of room on this bus. We're not going to run out of seats as we've done with the minibus. So let's have a look at the map. We're just coming inland now, slightly, from the beach up this way, as you can tell. got to scroll through these views to get back to where you want. Right, so that is not moving there. Have I grounded it? Let's just reverse slightly. It is rough ground there actually for that bus stop. There we go, that's better. So, thanks for coming in everybody. Hope everybody's hyped up for tomorrow. Let me know if you're picking it up. I'm interested to know. There is a poll on the channel actually. I know Jessica, you definitely responded to that. Just have a look for that on the community tab, and just interested to know whether me showing this to you has persuaded you to go and buy it, or if you're going to go and buy it anyway. So have a look at that, vote on that poll, and also, you know, I'm going to ask you to leave me a like as well, because that's always appreciated. And thanks to everybody that does that every stream. Makes a big difference. So there's a lot of playability in this. I've been looking at games to do that. Train Sim World, I always do that. There's been a couple of times where I've... and there's certainly a lot to do. In career mode, I think you've got a lot there to keep you busy. So we'll get some power in up these hills. You can hear the engine straining. Yeah, so you're going to get it on PC. If you get it, Jessica, you haven't got a console. Yeah, and it's been out on PC for about 4 years, I think. So it's not a new game for PC. But the good thing is, you would hope by now any bugs that were on PC have been ironed out. Farah, you hope I'm going to do the patch live stream. I will. It's release day tomorrow, so I will do one tomorrow. I'll find time to do one tomorrow once the patch is dropped. As I said at the beginning, I'm assuming the patch is now going to... It hasn't come out today, so I'm assuming it's going to drop with the actual release tomorrow. So yeah, we'll definitely cover that, and we'll check out those black pavements and the flashing roundabouts and see if we notice any real difference. Might be a quiet stream tomorrow though, if everybody's already picked it up. You guys might already be off playing it. Yep, no problem, Jessica. Yep, I'll do that. No problem at all. There's no way I'm not going to play it on release day. So let's have a quick look. I think we're good. That was a road sign, I think, that I just clipped. Do you know what? You don't have to persuade me, Farah. I don't know if I've told this story before. Apologies if I have. I was building a PC right before the pandemic started, and then there was the GPU shortage. So I have got a case, a box with various parts in it, but no graphics card, and I know they're starting to just now come back into the shops bit by bit, so it won't be long. I will have a PC as well. So you don't need to persuade me. You need to find me one, not persuade me. Right, let's take a look. I think we're good. I would definitely play ETS, yeah, no problem there. Of course, if ever PC, I'll stream from both. I only stream from PS5 because that's the only thing I have access to right now. Hi Black Arrow, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Are you picking this up, Black Arrow? I think you're on PS5, aren't you? If I remember correctly. Hello Reaper, how are you? Good to see you again. So Reaper says, I'm buying it as soon as I see a video with someone playing it on Xbox Series X with a G923, right? So a G923, I'm assuming, is a steering wheel. Well, I mean, the release date is tomorrow, and the rumour was that steering wheel support will be enabled. It's already in the game, it just needs enabling. So everybody's kind of hoping that's tomorrow. Now, I don't know your particular steering wheel, whether that will be supported. Is that a Logitech steering wheel? You have to excuse my ignorance when it comes to steering wheels. I think Jessica and I were having this conversation last night about steering wheels. Logitech and Fanatec wheels are rumoured to be the ones that are supported. Hello Amor, how you doing? Nice to see you back. Thanks for your comments on the other videos, I've seen those. Can you brake gradually with the trigger? Yeah, so what I keep doing, I was saying this too the other night, is that if I brake now, yeah, that skidding noise. That's a very light touch on the trigger. Let me just try again in a straight line. There's me braking. To not make it make that skidding noise, you really have to just feather the brake. It just takes a bit of practice, I think. It's all doable on the controller. It plays quite well on the controller, actually. It's just practice. Yes, you are on PS5, Black Arrow. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so you've been looking at a few of these games I've been covering, haven't you? Over the past few weeks. Reaper says, yeah, it is a Logitech. Well, it should be supported. We won't really know until tomorrow. Hey Stephen, how are you? No updates. No updates. So, I assume the patch is going to come tomorrow with the release. But no, nothing so far. Which is a shame. I really had my fingers crossed that they would release it today, then at least I could show you what the latest updates were. I know you've already got your copy, but for those that are getting it tomorrow, it would have been handy. Yeah, it could do with some sensitivity on the triggers, I think. I think 9 out of 10 times I do over-brake it, which is probably what prompted your question, Amar. You can probably hear me sliding to a stop, which is not great. So I'll try it now. Yeah, see, we were fine that time. It's just how sensitive you are on the braking. And I keep putting it in reverse, which is not good. but it's a lot of fun so far. And I've just realised that's why it's taking me in a circle, because the bus stop's on the other side, so not to worry. That's my fault setting up the route again. Some of the bus stops that are close together are quite tricky to pick out which one you want for the direction you're going. Sometimes you think you're picking the right one and you're not. But it's no big deal, it's only around this roundabout. There's no rush. A little bit of extra driving won't do us any harm. So there we go. Yeah, you're right, Stephen. Yeah, you can master the brake if you're careful with it. Black Arrow, is there a day into night cycle? Yes, there is. You asked me that, didn't you? A couple of days back. There is. I've not done it in free play, but I think in the career mode, definitely it does it. I would assume it does in this as well. This is 10 o'clock in the morning is when I decided to set this one to, but if we started at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, I'm sure, depending on what season you pick, it will go from day to night in the free play mode as well. Yeah, that is another thing, Stephen, as well. The map does need to, because when we do this, you see, if you want to look at the section, see, I can only go so far with the map. I have to I can't go to the right there unless I zoom in a bit more, then I can move. See what I mean? It's a bit tricky. Then I can't see the bus stops on here because we've already picked the route. But when you come down here, for example, to pick the bus stop, you have to wait for that box to come up there with the name. And if you imagine now, there's another bus stop underneath that box. So it can be a bit tricky. This is the furthest you can zoom in, so it is a bit tricky to get the right stop in some cases. But I mean, what you can do is when you've picked the route, obviously you can look back. And I when I've set the route up, I haven't noticed that I've got to go round again. And then we're going back up here. But it's not too much problem. That's only in free mode, because obviously in career mode, when you pick up the orders, the jobs are already mapped out for you. The routes are already mapped for you. So it's only in free view where you need to do that. But free mode, there's no pressure. We can do a bit of extra driving. It's just a leisurely jaunt, and watch out for that Merc trying to take me out. Or is it a 3 Series? It's a 3 Series. That was probably my fault pulling out with no indicator, but Stephen says, like how the external camera is locked to the bus and slight undulations. Yeah, and this is what I found difficult about on the road as well, is when I'm in the outside view, I find it very difficult to keep the truck straight. Once again, different developer, but that sort of technology is obviously there. I can quite easily steer around these bends though, from the outside view. So it keeps the back of the bus centred, which helps. The only thing I would like is, like there I can't see the front of the bus. I'd like to kind of be able to zoom in a little bit more and get a bit closer than what I am just now. And I can't do that. Right, since we're a traffic jam, these guys are waiting for me, so I'll take it. Right, that X5 was meant to give way, and he didn't. So keep your eye on the AI because they're pretty good on the whole, I would say. But there's a couple of them that will want to take you out. But generally, you know, I'm quite happy with the scenery. Once this close-in scenery pop-in gets fixed, you know, the distant scenery is pretty good. And we talked about this last night. You know, you do feel actually like you're on the Canary Islands. Right, let me try and break down this big hill without sliding it. So it can be done, you see. Jessica says it's almost impossible in ETS if you want to drive in third person. Right. Yeah, that's what I find with on the road as well. Obviously I haven't played ETS. More's the pity. And Jeff has arrived. How are you, mate? I'm pretty good, thank you. Stephen says they built a proper physics system in this, so everything works as it should. Congrats to TML for this aspect, at least. Yeah, and there's a lot of other stuff going for it as well, you know, not just the physics. I think it really has got a lot of playability, this one. And it was interesting, full credit to the British Ace. I don't know if you also watched the British Ace, but he's had a guy called Beaver on. He works for TML Studios, who are the developers, and he was kind of hinting that this was the easiest one of the ones they've got. They've got the bus and they've got Fern Bus, if I remember correctly, and Stephen can correct me on that if I'm wrong, or Jaffa, you probably know. But out of those three, this was the easiest one to port over to the console, and this one is more of a dipping a toe in the water. And if this one goes well, he was seeming to suggest that it is quite possible one or more of the other two could come to console as well. So the message is get buying this one if you like the bus games that they do. I haven't looked at, because they're on PC, I haven't looked at the bus or Fern Bus, so I don't really know what they're like. But if they're as good as this one, then we'll be in for a treat if they port those over as well. Yeah, thanks, Jaffa. Yeah. Yeah, it is, Jessica. Yeah, same people. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it'll be good for us. You're already on PC, of course, so you can get access to those. But for us on console, we might have to wait a bit longer. But it sounded to me like there was some plan that he wasn't allowed to tell us about, but he was kind of telling us about it, if that makes sense. He was telling us as much as he could without actually saying it. So it depends on the success of this one, really. Okay, so let me try and get in here. This is a tight one, isn't it? Just ignore the fact that I'm running into the passengers. That's something I think that needs correcting. They're stood in the wrong place. Yeah, Black Arrow, yeah, agree with you, would be good, definitely be good. Stephen says, I expect Fernbus might be a big ass considering the map size and the sizable DLC. I said sell my right leg for Fernbus. Well, as long as you're not using a steering wheel and pedals, you can probably sell your right leg. It's not going to be any good to you if you want to use your pedals if you sell your right leg, so just keep that in mind. Jesse was asking, has anybody played the bus? Is it better than Bus Sim 21? I think Stephen will answer that because he's the biggest fan of Bus Sim 21. Fairly tongue-in-cheek when I say that. Tubbs, how are you, mate? Nice to see you. How are you doing? Stephen says the bus wipes the floor with BS21. I knew you'd be quick to respond to that one, Stephen. In the bus, it's a 1-to-1 scale map of Berlin. That's good, isn't it? This is 1-to-5 size of the whole island, which is still pretty big. There is a feel of distance in this. This is why on these streams I've been doing my best to show you full runs of the island rather than just hopping from town to town, because I wanted to give you that, and I'm definitely going to slam on there because I think somebody was coming from my right. No, we're okay. I wanted to give you a feel for just how much map there is. This will be the only map, of course, that is part of the game, so it's important to know how much driving you're going to get to do. It's good we all agree that those ports over to console will be a good thing. I think we're all fans of a decent simulator, and specifically buses. We just need a truck one similar to this, don't we, on console? We've got On the Road, which is okay, but I just don't know what's going on with the patches for On the Road. We seem to be getting somewhere and then we don't hear any more about it, which is just a little bit frustrating. I wouldn't care if we just got a slight update every now and then to say this is happening, this will happen, but it seems to have gone very quiet since that last patch. Well, thanks again everyone for coming in. I appreciate you spending some time with me again. This is the third night on the run, isn't it? But I know we're all pretty hyped for this, so give me a thumbs up if you can, just while you're watching, just to help me out. I appreciate that, as you know. One thing I do need to learn when I'm streaming is how... Oh, there's a bit of a tight bend I wasn't expecting. I need to learn how to read the chat sufficiently and not crash, especially when we've not got many straight bits. Let me just have a read of what you've put. Let's pull over. Let's pull over and do it properly, shall we? There we go. No chance for ETS to come to console. I think it's a bit of a beast, isn't it, ETS? That's probably why. Although Microsoft Flight Simulator, in a fashion, can come to console, can't it? To Xbox. Jaffa says 3 buses will be available for the game. Do you remember the names of those, Jaffa? Can you paste those in the chat if you can remember what those 3 buses are? There's this one. Let me just show you. There's definitely this one. There is the minibus that we used last night. Not last night, the first night. The smaller of the 2 minibuses, not the Mercedes, the other one. And there's one other bus as well. I think it's another variation of this one that you get as part of the standard package. Yeah, oh, there you go, you've already put it. Yeah, BB40, Man Class C, and another Man Class. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah. Tubbs says Truck Driver is getting a new map and a PS... Oh, Truck Driver... Tell me about Truck Driver, Tubbs. Do you still have to race against the clock to complete missions? That was absolutely ridiculous, that. To give you like 2.5 minutes to blast it across the map to finish a job. I got the platinum for Truck Driver and I quickly sold it on eBay. I had a physical copy. I actually ended up out of pocket by about £1 strangely enough, when I sold it on eBay. I was absolutely shocked, to be honest. I'm trying to read the chat again. I want to be careful. Not done too bad for crashes so far tonight. Poor House, how you doing? Nice to see you back. Yeah, we do. We do need we need another trucking game generally on console. I think that's what I can't understand about On the Road. Really, they've got a good market at the moment, haven't they, to make it better? Just now, they've not got much competition yet. I don't know. They seem to be taking their eye off the ball. It seems. I mean, it's a decent enough game to play. It's just frustrating that we don't get any information. That's the thing. Yeah, poor House, you're probably right, yeah. Hello, Jaffa number 2. Jaffa's logged in on his other profile. Tubb says, not played it for a while. The upgrade was due October, but they missed the release and went quiet. Yeah. Tweeted him, said it was due. New map development was slowing things down. Yeah. I don't know about Truck Driver. I think, again, at the time, there was only, certainly on PlayStation, there was only Truck Driver, wasn't there really? And they had a chance to really corner the market, and they didn't. And I put a lot of hours into Truck Driver, as I remember. So we're just leaving Antigua. Tubbs, this is released tomorrow. So we're all hyped. Poor House says, you know what other maps they have for this game. This is going to be the only map, as I understand it. Nice one, Jaffa. That's a fair point, Stephen. Yeah, it was. Is it Sedesco? Sedesco, isn't it? It's all coming back to me now. Yeah, Sedesco. They do make mobile games. No, there's not even any paid. The only paid DLC will be the buses for a house. There's no DLC maps for this. The island is the island. That's going to be it. Right, on to the next stop. 9 kilometres. See the coastline coming into view again. I remember following Truck Driver quite closely, and they used to do. They had I don't know if they still do. They had the YouTube channel. The guy with the glasses is he called Martin? I think he may have been a Dutch guy. I think he was Sedesco. I don't know if he was the community manager who actually owned Sedesco. I don't know. He used to give the updates, and it was a bit like On the Road where they used to. Oh, that's me again, clipping the barrier. They used to give updates that something was coming. Then you'd wait months and months, and it didn't arrive. I got a bit tired. Just decided to get that platinum and then disappear out of it. So I didn't actually play any trucking game after that until pretty much until On the Road came out. I think Truck Driver and the original Bus Sim came out within a couple of weeks of each other. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. I'm almost sure I picked up both of them at a very similar time. And I played a lot more sim than I did truck driver. Tubbs, you want to give Bus Sim 21 a chance? Still too expensive at 33 quid. Stephen's in the chat, he will tell you it's too expensive at 5 quid. Okay, we've got a nice tight bend to get around here. Let's just have a look. You definitely need to turn into the outside of the road there to get around. It's difficult. Yeah, I thought so, Jeffrey. Yeah, I seem to remember I had both arrive at a similar time. I can even remember it was around mid to late September of that year when they both came out. A couple of years back now, isn't it? So we've got a few seats left, looks like. Let's just double check the map to see where we are. So we've made our way all the way down from here. We started down at Morro Jabal. You know by now that I can't pronounce these, so just ignore me. If I'm speaking phonetically, then you know what I mean. Morro Jabal. We came up this side. We bypassed Costa Calma tonight. We came up this way, across the middle. Actually, we came down again. You can see the blacked out stops here where we went. We didn't stop at Gran Tarajal tonight. We've been there a couple of times. We came inland. We came up, across the top, through Antigua. And we're here at the moment at Castellas del Angel, or Angel. I'm sure it's not Angel if you speak Spanish. It's probably Angel, isn't it? We're about to come into Puerto del Rosario, and then we'll take the coastal road that we took last night, but we'll come in a little bit so that we don't track it exactly the same as last night, and then we'll work our way inland slightly, all the way up to Corralejo, and that will be the end of the route. You had truck driver for 2 months and sold it to CEX. Yeah, there's probably a full shelf full there, I expect. And Stephen's there telling his story of war about Bus Sim 21. I think, Stephen, you know, you deserve the points for trying, definitely. You gave him a couple of chances. I just took one look at the layout of the game and the sort of... Oh, right. Get out of my way. Right, this is annoying me. I was doing okay till that guy decided he wasn't stopping. I took one look at the way it was kind of cartoony, let's say. I just didn't like it. And then I looked at the price tag. I didn't like that either, for what I was seeing, so I just made the decision not to pick it up. And to be honest, it probably would have got good coverage on the channel, but I just didn't fancy it. If I put something on the channel, it has to be something that I'm going to enjoy playing. As I can't get passionate about it, you know. Because my reactions to these things when I'm talking to you guys is absolutely genuine. I don't. If I absolutely hated this, I just wouldn't play it, you know. But this is absolutely my type of thing, so I prefer to do that rather than blow 50 quid or whatever it was on Bus Sim 21 and not like it. And I apologise to anybody in the chat who actually does enjoy Bus Sim 21, because that's also absolutely fine. I don't mean to completely diss it out of hand, you know. So this here is Corralejo, is it? No, it's Puerto del Rosario. We're not at Corralejo yet. What am I talking about? We just looked at the map, didn't we? Slow down as we're coming in. So there's a fuel station there over on the right. I don't actually know in free play, you know, whether or not fuel is a thing. I suspect that it isn't. But definitely in career mode you will need to refuel. There's the casino, probably very popular on the island. Sliding the brakes again. What Bus Sim 21 did do though, got me playing BS18 again, and it actually proved how much better that game is in comparison. Yeah. Yeah, Jaffa, I agree. I'm quite looking forward to getting stuck into career mode, I will admit. And as we've said, we'll cover that on the channel. That'll be the next thing we can do. I think that's everybody on that's getting on, so we'll pull away. This is actually a bus lane, so we'll stay over this side. So we're off down towards the coastal road now, leaving Puerto del Rosario. Black Arrow says, how are the controls in Tourist Bus Sim compared to the bus simulator that was on PS4? The original bus simulator, yeah. Similar. You remember in the original bus simulator you could press buttons in the cockpit. And I'm just going to go back into the... I keep calling it the cockpit. The driver's seat. You could press buttons on the dashboard, couldn't you? You could switch lights on and off, you could open the doors, put the parking brake on, and then there were some controls that you could use the wheel in the middle to do, such as put down the ramp for disabled passengers, things like that. There's no pressing of the controls on the driver's desk in this one. So for things like that, you've got to use that realistic control to do that, unless you're in arcade right now and you don't get as much choice, you just get to drive the thing. The driving controls themselves are very similar. If you're in arcade, very similar, if not the same as that original bus sim. The only thing is that if you want to use the realistic mode and you're playing the career mode, there's things like switching on the Wi-Fi for the passengers, switching the toilet light on, and all that kind of thing. There's some extra things you need to do in this that you didn't need to do in Bus Sim, but driving wise it's very, very similar, if not the same. You won't struggle at all with this. Hello, the Days Guy, welcome in. Do you know when this will be coming to the Xbox store? So, in the developers Discord today, they were saying that they hope it will be around 11 AM UK time tomorrow for both consoles, Xbox and PlayStation. I should have pointed out that it is only next gen. So sorry if that is disappointing news. I realise I haven't said that from the beginning. I should have told you that. Series X, Xbox S, and PS5. It is. Thanks everybody for coming in though. I think we've got 23 in at the moment, which is excellent. Thank you very much for that. So Corraleo is our final stop, and we're just on the way there now. 19 kilometers to go. Just get to take some of the motorway here. Oh, you've heard 2 PM UK time, Jaffa, have you? The latest I had was 11 AM UK time, so I don't quite know whether they've updated that since then, if you've seen that. Either way, it's not a midnight release tonight or anything like that. It will be later morning or certainly early afternoon, but 11 o'clock. Well, they were pretty specific with 11 o'clock earlier today. Keep your fingers crossed. No, you're welcome. You're welcome, Days Guy. That's what I'm here for. You can ask me any question that I can answer, I will definitely answer. I'm just pleased you're in here watching this with us. So if I can do anything in return, I'm quite happy. Akika, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Yes, the G29, the Logitech G29. Once it's enabled, which we think is coming in the day 1 patch, the G29 should work. In this earlier release, there is no steering wheel functionality at all, although it is in the game, it's just not enabled right now. Thanks for that. Yep, thanks for that, Days Guy. Appreciate it, yeah. I am a small channel, but with your guys' help, clicking that like button, and I will grow it, hopefully. So you're getting a physical copy, Jaffa, then? There is something nice about having the box in your hand, isn't there? I know it sounds stupid. Maybe it's my age. You know, you feel like you've actually got something in return. Do you know what I mean? Something physical in your hands. Digital's good because digital is instantly delivered. But I know what you mean. You like to have the thing in your hands. But I suppose it also depends how many games you play and how often you're forever changing discs around. That can become a bit of a pain when you're like me and you're sat in your living room and the PS5 is several feet away from you. You've got to keep getting up to change the disc. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having the disc. I always like the old steelbooks. I don't think we're going to get a steelbook version of this one, are we? But yeah, the steelbooks are pretty nice. just as a sort of collectible item, you know. This is Corraleo, guys, so this is our final stop. There's the water park. So let's just pull in, get everybody off. Keep putting it in reverse as well by over braking. That just shows that I'm over braking, the fact that it puts it in reverse. Right, let's jump out of the cab. Where is the fuel actually? That's interesting there on the left hand side. I wonder if that's the trip mileage. That 137 kilometres. I wonder if that's the trip mileage we've just done. There's the fuel gauge. The fuel gauge is pretty full, isn't it? Let's look at the summary. We carried 100% of passengers tonight because we had the bigger bus. That's good. We stopped at all the stops. That's 100%. All 10 stops done. We arrived on time once. We departed on time once. That was probably the very first stop that we did. 2 accidents. We didn't get caught speeding tonight. The aircon was on the whole time and all the passengers had Wi-Fi clearance. Like I said, the aircon and the Wi-Fi with the arcade mode, we don't have the option to switch that on and off. It does that for us. But in the realistic mode, you switch that on and off yourself. So if you forget to do that, then obviously you'll lose points for passenger comfort not being what it should be. So let me press that. What I wanted to do then is go back to free roam and jump out of the bus. Put me back at the other end, has it? Yeah, this just put us back at the start. Which is fine. We're not going to run it again, but what I will do is run outside the bus again. And say to you that is the end of the stream. Thanks once again for joining me for this. It's been great. This is the 3rd night we've done. And I hope these continue to be useful and you're getting a really good appreciation. If I haven't given you that, it's a bit late now because it comes out tomorrow. And I really hope that you're picking this up. The day 1 patch hopefully is going to be day 1 patch. It will be a bit of a disappointment if it doesn't. But we'll be back tomorrow at some point, probably a similar time tomorrow night. And we'll try and have a look through what those improvements are, hopefully, and see if we can see the difference. Oh, Rafcaster, hi, I didn't see you sneak in there. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Also, CJ, King, I think you're on Xbox, CJ, as well. I remember you commenting on one of the other videos, so it's nice to see you in here as well. And you're excited for this tomorrow. Yeah, you've been waiting for it on Xbox, haven't you, for quite a while. Let me just, if you haven't seen this last night, let me just run round and just show you the type of thing. Because you can roam wherever you want. So just before I go, I don't want to get run over. The BMW wanted to take me out, but let's just have a quick look. Down here there's a sort of docklands area. The black pavements will be fixed, or sidewalks, depending on which area of the world you live. Let's just take a look down. Just have to hope the bus doesn't get hijacked. You can do it in this view, or you can do it in 3rd person, like that. But let's take a walk to the end of this road, just before we say goodnight. Thanks, Tubbs, for coming in. Appreciate it, mate. Good to see you. I don't know how far we can go. We might be able to go all the way to the end, but let's see. It's obviously where the ships come in. Got some expensive yachts. Could be a car ferry, couldn't it? Or similar. We're still going. We're still going. Oh, just one thing. I know I'm keeping you. if you're in career mode, you see any of these kind of containers that are open, just search in those on foot, because I believe at random places in those kind of containers you can find wads of money in there, which you can pick up and just keep, and they're randomly placed excuse me, randomly placed throughout the map. So if you pass one of those, jump out the bus and just have a look, see if you can find some money. There we go. Plenty of places to explore, so it's not just about being in the bus, which is good. Yeah, running simulator, yeah. Alright guys, do you want me to jump off? Do you want me to see if I can jump off? What do you think will happen? Let's just take a run up. Are you ready? There might be an invisible wall, but we'll find out. Here we go. Hold your nose. Just like that, we're back on the dock. Okay, not to worry. Alright, thanks everybody. Really appreciate that, and I will see you tomorrow. If you pick this up during the day, enjoy it. If you find out any tips tomorrow, bring those into the stream tomorrow night. Let me know about it, and we'll share that as we go. Alright guys, thanks very much, appreciate your company, have a good evening. Talk to you tomorrow.